My name's Trevor Oliver. I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programmes in the School of Engineering and Applied Science here at Aston University. The university was looking for people to have a go at using Aston Replay, a lecture capture system. And so I was one of those in the School of Engineering who decided to have a go at this. I was sceptical, if I'm honest. I wasn't quite sure of how it would work. I imagined, as many people do, I think, that if the lecture is recorded, then the students don't turn up because they know they can see it on the web. And so for me, it was a new venture. But it's something that I found worked particularly well. I decided I'd use Replay for one of the larger modules I teach in terms of student numbers. About 150 final year students, finally a module called Energy Efficiency. Fairly traditional module in terms of how it's delivered, lecture style, tutorial sessions, application sessions, etc. Once I decided that this was something I was going to do with this particular lecture series, I was fortunate in that here at Aston, a short training program was put on for those of us who wanted to use the package. We were shown how to set the system up. It's called provisioning the module, but we use Blackboard as our VLE system here. But in addition to that, there is also a series of tutorials available online, so that should we forget the detail, and people like me who we're okay with IT but not necessarily experts, we can go back and refresh ourselves on how to do these things. So in terms of actually using the package in the lecture theatre, I found it was good to get there a couple of minutes early, or earlier than you would normally arrive, to make sure the system was working properly. Very easy to set up. The audio range needs to be set up. I tended not to use video capture because I don't sit at a desk and therefore the students wouldn't see anything when they looked at the material. And I used screen capture, which meant that anything I projected onto the screen, whether it be PowerPoint or whether it be working through a tutorial question, the students can review again in their own time later on. And that's particularly useful for things like reviewing exam questions, where the student might want to work at their own pace, where maybe there's a particular concept that they were having difficulty with. One of the things I was concerned about when I started using Replay was the effect it might have on student attendance. The fact that the lecture is captured and students can look at it in their own time later on, I thought might mean that some students would think, well, I can see that anyway, I don't need to attend. I didn't find that to be the case. If anything, I think attendance was particularly good for this particular module. One of the interesting aspects of Replay is that using the system generates its own statistics, which as a lecturer you can review. And the statistics give you all sorts of information, the number of views, etc., but also what particular part of a recording students are focusing on. And in a way, it gives you an indication of whether a particular concept or a particular bit of material is causing the students a particular difficulty. I'm sure most lecturers would agree that the number of students they see, certainly on a one-to-one basis, through appointments, etc., increases the closer you get to examinations as students start to worry about certain aspects of the course. What I found this time with using Replay was that by recording the exam preparation sessions and the application sessions, where I'd recorded in some detail the different questions that the students might encounter on the exam, they were able to refresh and revise using that rather than asking to make appointments with me. And so the number of appointments that came through this year was substantially less than I found in the past. Students had to complete a questionnaire as part of every module. And so I encouraged them in their module feedback to make comments about Aston Replay. And I was surprised at how positive students were with regard to how useful they found it. In fact, one particular student said to me that he did not think he would have passed the particular module had it not been for Replay being available. Originally, I'd only intended to use Replay for my first semester module, but the feedback I got from students and the benefits which I saw from using Replay meant that I used it for all of my second semester modules, another 3 modules. I think the benefits to the students are that it gives them access to the material as it was delivered. They can revise, they can pause the recordings where they're having particular difficulties. From my perspective, I think it makes the whole provision of material to students more efficient, I'm sure more effective. and actually means you can take a more holistic approach to the material that you're delivering. For example, including links to videos, websites, etc. Since I've used Replay, I've been encouraging my colleagues to also look at it, and certainly one or two have taken it up and have used it for their lectures. I personally think there's no doubt that it improves the learning experience from the student's perspective. I think it's improved the teaching perspective and made certain things, for me anyway, much easier and much more effective. And so I'd encourage all my colleagues to look at Replay.